Welcome, my friends, to a classic space build experience. Thanks to Ben Brick's Designs for the suggestion, the only voter. So keep voting when I do polls, and I may build in that direction. So I've been doing some prepping of that's probably been the biggest challenge, is trying to hunt and peck for some of the parts, but I do have at least 3 or 4 sets ready to go. The first on my list, and is one of my favorite, really reminds me of that Microfighter of today in the Star Wars and other worlds, but it's the Galaxy Trekkor. Boy, I forgot about it for 1 minute. You can actually build this in several different formats, which is pretty neat. And it was originally out in 1987. It is truly classic space. Is part of the, I would kind of consider it, what is it, like second or third wave? I mean, I'm not really a classic expert, but I would have been 11 years old, so probably right in the peak, because I had started with Castle, and then Space I started to buy in when I was a little bit older. So I think I was 9 or 10 when I really started to truly build and really get into Lego. And then, as I was 11, that's when the Space really kicked in. And I think I was doing things like saving all of my allowance money for buying Lego at the time. So for sure, let's get in. Let's do some building. And again, this is set 6808. I have 2 instruction booklets. I think it's possible in my collection I have 2 of these, but not completely sure, because I think sometimes there were 2 sets of instructions that were given. I don't know if it's so that you could kind of 2 people build or what, but I do have 2 sets of this particular instruction booklet. So I do have the pieces ready to go, and let's get going. I did build the blue space guy right out of the gate, full blue. I gave him almost like the Benny type of treatment. Gave him you gotta have a broken space helmet. I feel like I've got plenty of those. The helmets did break. Right there. Okay, so we start off, and the instructions is interesting, and they don't really give you much. They were very simplified. They just kind of give you some of the different positions that you can kind of build it in. You can do some different things with it, but you definitely had to there's a lot of really looking. It wasn't necessarily like, here's the piece. There's a little bit, but they you just kind of go more to a visual building experience. All right, so we start this way. I love that we're starting to see this type of part back. I'd like to get a lot more in different colors, so I could essentially recolor in some cases. One thing I noticed is then there are some plates, but not a ton of plates. They really accomplish some things. The techniques are very interested in some of these builds. Now, I will say, as I'm building this, there are potential for some color differences, and that's because I've mixed in a lot of my collection. A part is the part, and like this one's a little cleaner than this one. This one's may or may not be original. None of them may be original, actually. But for the most part, that's kind of the difference, is that there's some parts that are substituted. That's to be expected. And then I do have... Oh, whoops. I'm already doing this wrong. Whoops. Let's see here. Yep, that should go there. Gotta pay attention. All right. And then the other substitution, I'm sure I'll find it at some point, but I wasn't able to find the white striped version of this, so we're just gonna go with plain white for now. I did have the printed tile. Those are just fantastic. Just so fun. Such a cool build. Alright, so this one, we've got radars in here. Just gotta go visually. And it says, and this is, you know, the Classic Space really used these headlight bricks pretty effectively. There we go. I feel like almost every build has them in some shape or form. One of the things I really liked about this, I remember, were these hoses. It looks like I'm having a problem. Oh, you know what? I feel like I did something wrong here. I feel like it's wrong. It might be why I didn't feel like... So... Oh, okay. Well, this is right. So... Oh, okay. Alright, this is what happened. I can't follow instructions. It's just so hard. It was bent, so I didn't see it. So then this goes here. This extends it. So now the back here, and that gives this one a lot more support, which makes a lot of sense. Just like that. Okay, yeah. So now it should look like that. The hoses can go in here. I do remember... when I was building... Alright. Alright, here we go. I do remember the fun with these hoses, because then it just added to it, because you when you were battling with other things, you know, you could blow one off and then he's in trouble and stuff like that. So there's a lot of really cool things that you can do. And then, all right, let's see, where are we at? This kind of completes the engine block right here. And right there. What else left? We gotta complete this. And then we've got these really cool parts. These are classic wings. You just plop these on. And bam, you have your Galaxy Trekkor. I always had it that it would be, when these wings go like this, he would kind of like hyperspace or go fast. In back, this was kind of maneuverable battle formation, just like that. Plop your character in there. And away you go. And if you had an army of these, that would be pretty neat to have, you know. And it was kind of the early days of the Microfighters, so you could kind of build almost. I almost wish I had an army of these that you could kind of have as like a fleet or a squadron of these. And I remember I always used to battle aliens and all sorts of stuff with this. So, and then you are able to convert it. Hopefully that does it justice right there. To almost like a detection device. They have another interesting config right there. And so just all sorts of stuff. So it's almost like the original Classic Space creator set. So the designers were just really amazing back in the day. It's an absolutely fantastic set. What I would say, just to kind of close things out, is that the new in box, these things are going for, I've seen it at least according to Brickset, upwards of $70, and then used, again, because it's kind of, you're probably getting a janky piece substituted. You're looking at $10 to $20 for one of these, so not too over the top in terms of value. But super glad that I have it in my collection. Thank you so much for joining me on my classic space building journey. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.